Mr. Stark!
Slava did it.
I did it. Yeah. I think we did it.
How'd you feel?
Taller.
I took the liberty of coming.
Wow. Okay, the superhero summer is wrapping up with Captain America, the First Avenger.
Good. Our movie guy, Aaron Lafferty, is here with a review of the big budget blockbuster.
Okay,
Yes.
we were joking. Aaron's like, you guys are going to like this clip.
Yeah.
We're like,
You gotta know your audience.
okay, now I know why.
Now we know why.
He came out and,
If you didn't know Chris Evans
Impressive.
before, you know Chris Evans now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure,
We're following him
exactly.
more.
Yeah.
There are a lot of big expectations with this movie.
Yes, $140 million budget on this one.
Wow.
And I think it's going to make at least a third of that back this weekend.
Okay.
You've got Chris Evans plays Captain America. If you don't know the Captain America story, that's okay, because you're going to get the backstory when you see this movie. Chris Evans, he's kind of a young guy. His family was in the military. It's the World War II era. He wants to be in the military, but he's this scrawny, 90-pound asthmatic kid, and he really wants to be in the Army. Well, then he goes through this procedure, which we just saw, becomes a super soldier. He bulks up. He becomes this warrior, and he's basically kind of an all-American kid. He's very patriotic. He's very humble. You know, very well cast. Chris Evans did a great job in this movie. The other thing that I liked about this movie, even better than Iron Man, was you have a legitimate villain in this movie. In this movie, you're worried about this villain. This guy, played by Hugo Weaving, who we've seen in the Matrix movies. You know, a lot of different things he's done with Lord of the Rings and whatnot. Just a great villain. You got a great cast. Supporting cast was good. The effects weren't over the top, as we've seen in some other movies this summer. You know, it's actually like real practical effects and real action, real people, and good characteristics, and some things that the fans are really going to like too. You'll see in there.
It's interesting that you're likening it to Iron Man, because I loved that, and
Right.
I know that a lot of people really like that. It did very well at the box
Yes,
office.
and for all the reasons that Iron Man worked, this movie works too. You've got a very good character, relatable, you know, it's got the comic relief in there, you've got the whole romantic thing going on, so a lot of good reasons to like this movie. I give it an 8.9.
Kind of like all movies in one. You know, you got the comedy, the romance, and
Exactly.
And I
Yeah,
saw this
the action.
preview months ago in
Right.
theaters, and I was very excited. And it
Right.
wasn't a story that I followed a lot,
Right.
but I do like a lot of the superhero movies, so I was actually very excited knowing that it's
Right.
coming out.
And the whole time it goes along, you know, the thing about Captain America is he doesn't have superpowers. He's like stronger, he's faster, he's maybe more courageous, but, you know, if he gets shot, he's going to bleed. You know, if he gets hurt, he's going to, you know, he's going to get
So
hurt.
it's very realistic.
So it's very realistic. He's very relatable. You know, maybe he's a little bit stronger, a little buffer, but, you know, it's
We're okay with
it's
that.
good. Yeah, exactly.
We are, definitely.
So.
Okay, so that's going to be the big one this weekend.
Right, and also I want to add, you know, it is in 3D, but if you want to save a couple bucks, you don't have to see it in 3D. It works just fine in 2D.
Okay. All right, but there is another big one
Yes.
that a lot of people are looking forward to seeing, because there are a couple really big stars headlining
Yes,
it.
yes, it is rated R. Friends with Benefits, Justin Timberlake, Mila Kunis. You also got Patricia Clarkson, Woody Harrelson. Basically, these are two friends. They've been friends for a long time. They decide maybe they're going to add the physical element to their friendship. You know, they're pretty sure that they can keep it completely as a friendship and completely platonic, but as we know, those kinds of things tend to complicate a relationship, and not to give it away, but you know, they run into some hardships. This is rated R. You've got, you know, sexual content and obviously some different kind of language. So this isn't for the whole family kind of a movie. But, you know, it's a familiar concept we've seen earlier this year.
And what
No
is-
strings attached.
No strings attached.
Yes.
It was
Ashton Kutcher.
killing me. I couldn't figure
Ashton
out what
Kutcher,
it was.
Natalie
Ashton
Portman.
Kutcher.
Yeah. So this is getting pretty good reviews, about a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
All right. So what else do you have in your bag of movie tricks?
Well, 2 weeks ago, I would have told you about Zookeeper, which is still in theaters. It's kind of a family movie. Kevin James, we know him from King of Queens and other, you know, fun Adam Sandler type movies. I was really kind of disappointed with this movie. I gave it a 4. You know, you got the fun with the animals. We really had to search to find some good scenes in this movie. The animals are the best part of this movie. They should be in more scenes, really. You know, Kevin James is fun, a little over the top here. You know, it's good for the family. It's just, you know, don't be expecting too much out of this
It
movie. When you
seems
get
a
to see
lot like Night at the Museum when you get some unexpected talking creatures.
Yes, but actually not as good as Night at the Museum.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is just not really good. A lot of bathroom jokes. Plus, you know, his one of his co-stars is a gorilla that also talks. All the animals talk, which he finds out they actually can talk. That's part of the concept here, but it just didn't work. It was a little too much. A little too much. The
that's good
kids,
to know.
even the kids in the screen, weren't like laughing a lot or really happy with the movie. So, you know, sometimes I take myself away from it and just check the kids' reactions, and they weren't even really excited about it.
Okay.
So
Aw.
maybe a good rental.
But I like that normally, Aaron, when you and I are on the show together here, we disagree about a lot of things. I remember
Right.
Hop, and I said, but I want to see that.
Right.
And so I'm glad you told me, because it was one of those that I said, I'm not quite sure. And so
Yeah.
if you said even the kids really didn't kind of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Even like Kung Fu Panda 2, the kids were cheering. And Rango, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, the kids were excited. But in Zookeeper, they just weren't really having a good time. I mean, there was a couple scenes where they laughed, mostly because the animals were talking. Those kinds of things. Or Kevin James falling down.
Yeah, you got another new movie that you want to tell us about, too.
Right, Tree of Life, which was the winner at Cannes Film Festival. It's in a limited release around West Michigan. It's actually it's jumped around different theaters. It's now at Rivertown. I saw this last weekend. I would have told you guys about it last
Brad
Friday.
Pitt.
Brad Pitt. The clips make it look good. It got really good reviews. You know, it came out polarizing from Cannes Film Festival. Some people in the theater liked it. Some people booed it. And now I understand why. Now that I've seen it, this is a very difficult 2.5 hours to get through. Not because of the subject matter. With Brad Pitt, he's kind of a hard father to deal with. It's just the way it's made is really kind of tough. It gets very into cosmic realities and out in the universe and how this family's in the universe, and it's really kind of tough to. Some people walked out during this movie that I was
Really?
watching. So.
Really? Okay.
So just be prepared for 2+ hours of kind of out there movie making. I can't really pigeonhole it. I can't really tell you it's like something else because it's really not like anything else I've ever seen.
And I've never even heard of it, so...
Yeah, it's probably better to rent it because you'll have the opportunity to pause it, move
Leave,
on, and come
relax.
back to it. Yeah. So.
And then come back.
So the 2.5 movie that took 6 hours.
Yes.
No.
Right.
But you do have, you know, you just mentioned rentals.
Right.
And that's always a big thing, too, for people that can't get to the theater, don't want to go to the theater.
Yeah.
Theater's too expensive.
Right, theater's too expensive, or maybe just you can't get out because you're busy and you'd rather watch the movie at home, have dinner at home with the kids, whatever. One of the ones to recommend is Rango. This came out a couple weeks ago, finally, on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. It is rated PG. It's not G, so it's not for the little kids. As I had pointed out on my blog earlier this year, it's not really a movie for little kids because there's kind of a darker element to it. There's kind of this pending death element that's going through with Rango, and these aren't little fun, furry, happy characters. So just be aware, not for little kids, maybe 13 and up or 12 and up, somewhere in there.
Okay. But one that did fairly well for the box office.
Good. I would say one of the top animated movies this year. So
Wow.
Okay. All right. So people wanted more information, they can check out your blog.
it's all there.
Laugh at the Movies.
Yep.
Find you on Facebook,
Twitter,
Twitter,
YouTube.
Everything.
Yep.
YouTube. You're there. And of course, EightWest.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Aaron. We
Yeah,
appreciate
you bet.
it.
Thank you, Aaron.
All right.
We'll be right back.